On January 25th, 2024, New England Patriots announced the death of Phil Bissell, creator of their iconic Patriot logo. The media is saying he died at the age of 97, though he wasn't going to be 97 for much longer. I guess his birthday is about a week away. I don't know the exact date of death, but the official announcement came on the 25th day of this year. The 25th prime number is 97. Now, while searching, hopefully I got his birthday right, but if we look at what happened on his 97th birthday, it was February 1st, 2023. A big name with the New England Patriots, Tom Brady, put this post. He says, "I'm retiring for good." That was February 1st. Media made jokes about it, how it's Groundhog's Day again, because the year before, on February 1st, he retired, came out of retirement, and then again, retired on February 1st. The big 201 date. Shout out to Zachary K. Hubbard in his book, Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. Zach Hubbard would say often, it's no coincidence that after 9/11 and the Patriot Act came the emergence of the New England Patriots, led by Tom Brady. And he retired on Phil Bissell's birthday. So let's talk about the logo, Patriot. Obviously, Pat is short for Patriots. Pat resembled something like a Minuteman. He was dressed like an American Revolution soldier. So you think about the birth of the nation, and we're talking a lot about Pluto return. Pluto was in a certain spot in the sky back when America was quote unquote born. It's a slow moving planet, so it's finally making its way back around this year. But about this logo, and I guess I'll just point out again something I've talked about a lot, is these great American total solar eclipses that make the X over America. I believe they're like bookends for America's Pluto return. So going back to this logo, this American Revolution soldier, it's been replaced by something called the Flying Elvis. I made a community post about this, got a few comments. I'm going to shout out to Decoding with Cody. He commented, "Crazy, didn't know it was the Flying Elvis. Super Bowl in Vegas with all the Elvis impersonators." So Phil Bissell's Pat Patriot logo was replaced by the Flying Elvis, so I decided to look at Elvis Presley and his date of birth, compare it with the birthday of Phil Bissell. But first, just recall Phil Bissell's death was reported on the 25th day of the year. It's a leap year, which means the number of days remaining until the end of the year is 341. Just so happens Elvis Presley was born 341 days after Bissell's birthday. So I have the calculation on the screen here. Supposedly Elvis Presley was born on January 8th, 1935. Using that as a starting point and go backwards 341 days brings us to February 1st. Again, that's Phil Bissell's birthday. Not his date of birth, mind you, but it is the anniversary of his birth. So about the 341. Remember I said I made a community post? Shout out to Doc Savage. He was the first person to leave a comment. He wrote this: "The verse of the Bible leaving 341 verses remaining is Revelation 3:14. Now, I have not verified, I didn't count the verse numbers, but if it's true, that is interesting. And I responded something I learned from Derek Takuri of Gematria. I learned this from him, that all the permutations of the pi approximation 314 sum to 1776. So if you add 314, so we're talking about permutations. It's all the different combinations of that. There's 6 possible combinations. So you do 314 plus 143 plus 431 plus 413 plus 134 plus 341. Hopefully I got that right. If not, you can go back and do all the possible combinations. Like I said, there are 6 possible combinations of that pi approximation. Add them all together and the sum is 1776. So big shout out to Derek. Thanks again from Gematria. That's awesome. So you can go to his website and find date calculations and gematria values and whatnot. If you select the English ordinal cipher and type out the words New England Patriots, you get a sum of 217. 217. And just so happens I read from this CBSSports.com article about Phil Bissell, creator of Pat Patriot. Bissell was a former Boston Globe cartoonist, and he came up with the Pat Patriot logo on February 17th. 217, again, New England Patriots equals 217. Again, Doc Savage made some comments. He did talk about the 217, the 127, 2701. I'm not going to read his whole comment. You can read it if you like. But just think about how 9/11 is now known as Patriot Day. And on that infamous day, we had World Trade Center buildings 1, 2, and 7 go down. Speaking of permutations and rearranging the numbers, 217, buildings 2, 1, and 7. Just so happens the 217th verse of the Holy Bible is Genesis 9:11.